Before watching The Evil Dead, I noticed the NC-17 rating, and I've never seen an NC-17 rated movie before. And after 20 minutes, I thought it was fine. I was okay, but then, man, this movie really hits you. I loved this movie, and as a first time viewer, I wasn't really sure what I was getting into, but in the end, I got a fun, brutal, disturbing, and overall just great horror movie. Let's get this out of the way, guys. This movie is disturbing. It's one of the most graphic and disgusting movies I've ever seen, in all of the best ways. The makeup reminded me a lot of The Exorcist, only cranked up to 11. This movie, along with The Thing, has some of the best practical effects I've ever seen, despite looking rubbery at times. It is so bloody and disgusting that usually I put images over my reviews, but I honestly don't think I can do it for some of this review. Another thing this film reminded me of was Cabin in the Woods, and yes, I know, Cabin in the Woods is heavily inspired by this movie, but it really makes me appreciate that one a lot more for what it tried to replicate, but this movie was on a whole different level. This group of friends goes to a cabin in the woods where they find this book and these tapes documenting this evil presence that lurks in these woods. Yes, this movie is brutal, but the first act really does take its time. It's really build the anticipation until everything goes to hell. You get this wonderful moment between Ash and his girlfriend Linda where he gives her this necklace. He pretends to be asleep holding the box, opening his eyes only when she isn't looking. This moment was so sweet and gave so much character to Ash, played excellently by Bruce Campbell in one of his earliest roles. This isn't just a sweet moment, there is so much more to it once you reach the end of the film, and I will get to that in a bit. Another thing about this movie that surprised me that I completely forgot about was the director. About halfway through I decided to look it up because I wasn't sure who it was, and to my surprise it was Sam Raimi, who is most famous for his Spider-Man trilogy. This movie really is directed so well. The camera movements showing the evil lurking in the woods, ready to strike at any moment, really put me at edge for the entire runtime. It's rare for a horror movie to really impress me, and I figured I'd have a similar reaction to this one as I did with the first time I saw Halloween. On first viewing I was very unimpressed by that movie, but on second and third I realized how influential it was, and the same thing with this movie. This movie has influenced so many movies, yet no other movies has been able to replicate the magic this movie has. Like I said, Raimi does an amazing job building tension in this movie, and he reveals everything at the perfect moment. He smartly plays on that touching moment that I mentioned before, only the roles are reversed, so the possessed Linda is playing dead, only opening her eyes when Ash is looking away, and it was so good. Performances all around were really strong, especially from the women who had to play possessed and crazy at such a heightened level. The script has so many smart moments, like when Scotty goes from hit her to hit it, realizing that they are no longer the people that they once used to be. However, the script is not without its issues. Like most horror movies, some characters make the worst decisions ever. I just wanted to scream at them, telling them, don't do what you are doing, do anything else but what are you doing right now, and everything would be fine. There are also some small continuity issues in this movie, like the location of the necklace. At a point, he left the necklace by Linda's grave, but in the next moment it's in his pocket, so there's a few moments like that that's just jarring. Even on a technical level, there are several shots in this movie where the subject is just not in focus, but I can forgive these things just because this movie has such a small budget. This movie has some of the best practical effects, it has some great sound design, it is very well directed, and has a strong lead in Bruce Campbell. Cheryl locked in the cellar was creepy as hell, and this movie really did get under my skin, which I was not expecting going in, and honestly, I might switch out some of the movies I have later in this series with The Evil Dead 2, just because I love this movie so much, and I heard that one's even better, so I have to watch that movie. So I definitely recommend all you guys to go seek this movie out if you haven't seen it already. And that also concludes day 7 of the 13 days of Halloween. We're almost done, guys, and I'm continuing doing horror reviews every single day up until the 31st. So subscribe to the channel and check out the Talking Movies podcast, also on this channel and on the Apple podcast feed. I'm also on Twitter at the UR Movies, so go check that out. And thanks, guys, so much for watching this review, and I'll see you guys in the next one.